The Pennsylvania game is made possible in part by
the Pennsylvania Public Television Network.
Rusty-haired football hero Harold Red Grange was born in Forksville, Pennsylvania in 1903. What was the three-time All-American halfback nicknamed? A, the Galloping Ghost, B, Crazy Legs Grange, C, Night Train, or D, the Comet? The answer is A, the Galloping Ghost. Harold, or Red Grange as he was known, was born in Forksville, Pennsylvania in 1903. After his mother died when he was 5, his family moved to Wheaton, Illinois, where he excelled in high school sports. In 1925, the University of Illinois football hero stunned America when he became the first college football star to turn pro. Red, who is nicknamed the Galloping Ghost because he was so hard to catch and tackle, signed with the Chicago Bears. His exciting playing style helped make professional football, then a new sport, so popular. In 1683, Margaret Mattson of Ridley Creek, Delaware County, was the first woman in Pennsylvania to be tried for a certain crime. A Swedish immigrant who didn't speak English, she was accused of being A, a devil worshiper, B, a bigamist, C, a witch, or D, a cat burglar. The answer is C, a witch. In 1683, several years before the Salem witch trials, Pennsylvania held a witchcraft trial of its own. The basis for the trial was a 1603 English statute making witchcraft punishable by death. The case of Margaret Mattson, believed to be the first and only such case in Pennsylvania, was presided over by William Penn, proprietor and governor of Pennsylvania. Witnesses accused Mattson of bewitching their cattle and behaving like a witch. Mattson, who conducted her own defense through an interpreter, denied all charges. Penn felt the evidence against her was trivial and recommended that the case be dropped. Unable to prove she was a witch, the jury instead found her guilty of having, quote, the common fame of a witch, and set her free. A bronze statue stands in Carlisle, Pennsylvania in honor of Mary Ludwig Hayes. Molly, as she was called, is renowned in history as Molly Pitcher. Was Molly Pitcher A, America's first suffragist and reformer, B, operator of the first U.S. hotel, C, the heroine of the Battle of Monmouth, or D, the botanist who discovered the pitcher plant, which uses pitcher-like organs to attract and trap insects? The answer is C, the heroine of the Battle of Monmouth. Mary Ludwig, who worked as a domestic servant in Carlisle, married John Hayes shortly before the Revolution. When war broke out, John enlisted in the artillery, and Molly, as she was called, soon joined him in the field. She nursed the sick and wounded and carried pitchers of water to the exhausted and thirsty men, earning her nickname, Molly Pitcher. When her husband was wounded, she took over his position and became the second woman to fire a gun on an American battlefield. General Washington personally thanked her for her bravery. In 1822, the Commonwealth awarded her an annual pension of $40 for her wartime services. She died in Carlisle in 1832, and 84 years later, a monument was erected in her honor. In 1902, the Pennsylvania Railroad unveiled the Rockville Bridge, which spanned the Susquehanna River. Is Rockville Bridge the longest stone arch bridge? A, in the state, B, in the eastern United States, C, in the country, or D, in the world? The answer is D. The 3,820-foot Rockville Bridge, which spans the Susquehanna River between Dauphin and Perry counties, is the longest stone arch railroad bridge in the world. Begun in 1900, it took nearly 2 years and more than 200,000 tons of native sandstone to construct. By 1907, up to 50 passenger trains a day used it to cross the river. Today, the bridge, which holds 3 tracks and features 48 arches, is still a popular span for freight and passenger trains traveling through Harrisburg. Hailed as an engineering marvel, the bridge is an historic site as well as a national civil engineering landmark. A Pittsburgh firm by the name of Prolume Limited is working on a better method of surgically removing certain cancers. To do this, Prolume is raising research funds by A. making glow-in-the-dark squirt guns, B. marketing high-protein energy bars, C. designing special pocket protectors for scientists, or D. harvesting leeches and maggots for certain medical treatments. The answer is A. making glow-in-the-dark squirt guns. Dr. Bruce Bryan and Gene Finley formed a partnership of doctors and scientists to clone luminescent genes from marine animals and use them for now in squirt guns. The idea is to raise enough money from selling novelty items to underwrite the research of using the glowing genes to identify cancerous tumors. Prolume hopes to make cancer cells shine so that surgeons can cut them out without fear of leaving any behind. However, research is enormously expensive, including trolling the ocean depths in search of luminous species. The jellyfish, sea pansies, squid, and other marine life that glow provide luminescent genes that can be copied and attached to other genes. The genes are inserted into bacteria which multiply rapidly, creating generous supplies. Prolume sells bioluminescent toys on its website at biotoy.com. Every June since 1892, the Zion Lutheran Church of Mannheim celebrates the Festival of the Red Rose. The festival is held in honor of what? A. the Red Rose Tea Company, which was founded in Mannheim. B. the founder of Mannheim, who donated land to build the church and asked that one red rose be paid every year as rent. C. Lancaster County soldiers who shed their blood in the Civil War. Or D. poet Robert Burns, who wrote A Red, Red Rose while visiting Mannheim. The answer is B. Henry Stiegel founded Mannheim as a company town in 1762. He opened America's first glass-making factory in 1762, built a mansion in the middle of the town, and a castle in nearby Schaefferstown. As his fortune grew, he built schools and gave land for a church, requesting payment of only 5 shillings, and in the month of June yearly thereafter, the rent of one red rose. In 1774, due to financial problems, Stiegel lost all of his property and was thrown in debtor's prison. Thereafter, Stiegel earned a meager living as a teacher in local Lutheran churches until his death in 1785. In 1892, after a lapse of 120 years, Zion Lutheran Church in Mannheim resumed its rental obligation. On the second Sunday of every June, a red rose is paid to a descendant of Henry William Stiegel. Somerset's Old County Jail, built in 1890, gives visitors a glimpse of what prison life was like 100 years ago. For what is the jailhouse most famous? A. It held a state record for escapes. B. It was the first jail to use electrified fences. C. It employed a double gallows used to hang 2 sets of brothers. Or D. Talking was forbidden among inmates. The answer is C. The Somerset County Jail employed a double gallows, used at different times on 2 sets of brothers. The first double hanging took place in 1891. Hundreds of residents vied for space to watch the execution of Joseph and David Nicely, brothers convicted of robbing and murdering a local farmer. 8 years later, the Roddy brothers, also convicted murderers, simultaneously met their maker. Although Somerset didn't hold a state record, escapes were common. 6 months after the jail was opened, the notorious Nicely brothers twice escaped, but were recaptured. The facility was rebuilt several times, then replaced by a modern facility in 1981. The nooses, blindfolds, and other memorabilia from the 2 double hangings are on display at the old Somerset County Jailhouse.
A copy of the program you've just seen can be purchased through Penn State Media Sales at mediasales.psu.edu or by calling 800-770-2111.